All remaining north, please feel free to.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Aldermember Starr.
Here.
Plackty.
Here.
Whitsitt.
Here.
Polson. Eller.
Here.
Farragon.
Yep.
Mayor Barner.
Yep.
We have a quorum.
Welcome to the visitors, always good to see people out there. Thanks for coming out. We'll move right into the consent agenda, which includes the approval of minutes from the August 11th, 2025 regular session, finance report for July, and the 2025 business licenses issued. Jeff, what?
Okay, I have a few things. We met tonight, our finance committee met. One thing I'd like to say is that Global Payments charges a fee for online payments or paying with the credit card, and Kathy Thompson has dug into that. It's $26,000 is what it's got up to monthly, or that's what it was this time, which I've been like, wait, because credit card fees have just increased. She has got a hold of Global Payments, and she's now reduced that down to by 31%. So that's a huge savings that we're going to see from Global Payments. But I would like for the board at some time in the future, future agenda to discuss about maybe pass some of these fees to our customers like other towns do, because right now the city is absorbing the online payment fee into the credit. So I think we're going to, I don't know if I need to request that or think about it, or we'll do it with, like maybe in a future board meeting we can talk about that. We have our audit, or finally, that we should have gotten a year or so ago. Shauna told me that this Dana Cole she asked them to make a presentation to the board, which they always do, and they're just not available for this meeting, or so I just wanted to let you know that she's going to continue to try to get them to make a presentation to the board about our audit, but we're not holding out great hope for that. We are meeting with the BKDV, which is our new auditors, which for a pre-audit this week, according to Kathy. So they're on it. They have our 24 audit, and we're moving along with them, and I'm real excited to have a new auditor. Let's see, I checked the tax levy figures are in, and Bruce has done some calculations, and with the new levies, it looks like we're possibly going to get around $15,000 more than we budgeted for. But because of delinquencies, we've decided not to do, or we don't think we need to do a budget adjustment because we do have so many delinquencies. And the last thing that we talked about was an investment policy, and Kathy is going to reach out to all the local banks and try to get an investment proposal of some sort from we kind of discussed that maybe we should try to keep our investments local, is what the finance committee is kind of going to propose to the board, that instead of going with most of it, Bruce also did read their contract, and there is some fees that are kind of getting in there. So thank you to Kathy for all your hard work and being on board with this. And the last thing is that we have on here that the business licenses, we have that list that I hadn't seen this before, but we do have ordinance that we are supposed to put that out there. So we're doing some cleanup and getting that out there for anybody that has any questions on those. So thank you for doing that, Karen. And that's
Alderman Carrigan, any quick question?
She answered it with her next statement. Very good. All right.
okay. So with that, all of that, I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Good.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? 5-0. Consent agenda is approved. Moving into the mayor's report, not much today. I do want to mention that I've got a 5 Series podcast out that what did I say? But anyway, it's out there, and, it deals with, apathy, negativity. I touch on the police, development on the new police facility, talk about, several things in the 5-part series. None of the episodes are more than 10 minutes, so it's an easy listen. And just make some, make my opinions known on a few things. So I'll get on Odessa Insight podcast and give a listen. And with that, we'll move on to the Alderman report. Alderman Black.
Okay, so I attended the planning and zoning meeting last Thursday. They had the public hearing for the PUD. It was opened up for the public at 7:01. And it's closed at 7:01.
Okay.
So, there's been a lot of work done on this PUD, a lot. Everything's been amended, there's been a motion, and they made a motion to approve it, and they just passes down to us. The preliminary plat for the 1912 building has been revised. Everything has been addressed, and a motion is made to approve that. Really, we did a workshop.
Very good. Thank you for that. Alderman Carrigan.
Just a few things, want to follow up with our Wednesday night, Ward 3 town hall we had last week. Had a pretty good turnout, some concerns were shared. Bruce did a pretty good job and sent them to Shauna and city council, to address some of those things. I just want to share some here that having issues with or questions about Coxville Road. I know Kenny's been involved with some of the stuff over there with, sewage and whatnot, so that was brought up. Some business issues with one of the bars in town, some allegations and whatnot were brought up and asked if they were being addressed. And then there were a lot of allegations of bullying and threats and stuff to some community members when they stand up and challenge the city or things like that. So I know those things happen. It's saddening that they happen here as well, and we would hope that they won't, but I would just hope that they don't continue. But other than that, we're good.
Thank you. Alderman Eller.
And nothing.
Alderman Starr.
I've got nothing.
Alderman Woodson. Nothing. Very good. All right. And I did remember the next podcast. I thought it was shaping on tomorrow. So I have a little blank on that, but it happens. All right, moving on to the city administrative report. John.
Good evening, Mayor and Board of Aldermen. To get started, Sam GIS is still continuing to do the mapping for the wastewater department, and reports show that it's going very well. And they'll soon be moving on to the water department. We've managed to get our permitting for 5-year permits for the land application that we do through wastewater and the water department. So we have a total of 68 acres that has been approved for land application. Like you mentioned, the 9th Street project, that was unfortunate that the street is still closed. We did get notice this morning that they were taking out the Kirkpatrick lift station today and tomorrow, and then as soon as that's done, they're able to close off or to repave or reseal the street and then open it back up. We will have to have another closure once we get a little bit further on down into the project. Everything is completed with the water portion except for that railroad portion because of the permitting that we have been held up with for the railroad company. So once we get the permitting squared away for that, we will have to close the road again, just so all of the service lines can be connected to the new water line. But once they get Kirkpatrick put back in, this pump station, or taken out, sorry, then we'll be able to open the road back up. So they were anticipating being able to do that this week, and it should be open next week from the information that we have, so. Oh, and I did want to say too, with the unfortunate situation with the road being closed during the, very start of school. That was very unfortunate, not something we planned for in any way, shape, or form, but I will say we did get some gratitude from the school district and the police department's abilities to help manage the situation and manage traffic in that unforeseen situation, so. We are continuing to do locates, and as we get CMGIS, fully, mapped out and everything with water and wastewater, we really would like to start looking into contracting out locating. Kenny's crew just recently started doing the locating for wastewater. The water department previously did those, and it just got to be too much. That's the reason why Kenny's crew started doing their own. So they've been logging and creating a file for each locate that they get. They've received over 1,000 locates in 3 months. So it's just getting to be a little too much for us to do in-house. So as soon as we get the CMGIS map, we'll start getting quotes and things to see if we can get that contracted out, because there are companies who specialize in that. Moving on to finance, our new AP clerk / collector started today. The onboarding process is in full effect. We're happy to have her, happy to be fully staffed at City Hall. As we've stated, the 2024 audit is complete and the 2025 audit begins this week. We have 3 bids out, like I mentioned, I think last time too. We have the lime sludge removal out, electric engineering and tree trimming for the electric department. So Kathy is fielding questions as those come in. Next week, Kathy and I will be going to the Governor's Economic Development Conference. And we will also be closed on Monday for the Labor Day holiday, so it'll be an interesting week work-wise.
Sean, I have a question. Have we got any more bids on the street? On the,
No, we have to go back to the drawing board. We did not receive any bids for that,
Thank
so we're still thinking on ways to improve that. For the water department, we had a water leak on Second Street that they were working on. And then there is a continued water leak on Russell that we do feel like we're going to have to make those improvements to try to locate and fix that problematic leak that continues to be an issue. So we'll be working on that soon. We put paving off just a little bit so we can work on those leaks and get the water services installed on Pine Creek. And we've got quite a bit of the paving done so far. Our Pass Lane has been paved. Both the cul-de-sacs, which are Broken Dollar and Hereford Court, those have been paved, and the small cul-de-sac on Ozark Short Line has been paved. We've got 4th Street and McDowell blocks completed, and then the next one we'll be doing is Jennings, which will be in 2 weeks. So a long list is here, and we're just trudging through them. For the police department, Josh has been working on our Minetel to Ring Central conversion. So we do plan to have the actual go live be set for next week, I believe. Was it Tuesday? Or is it
Wednesday.
This week or next Wednesday?
This Wednesday.
This Wednesday. So there will be, we anticipate a slight delay in the phone services being down while we switch those over. Josh attended the Lafayette County meeting for the 911 tax. So that has been progressing. Their next meeting will be on Thursday, the 28th. It is a public meeting if anyone's interested in attending, but they'll be discussing possibly moving to a different contractual system. So right now we're contracted with City of Higginsville. So that looks like they're moving towards maybe the cities and jurisdictions being contracted with the county board itself. And then Higginsville will contract out the services with the county board itself too. So that will be up for discussion at that meeting on the 28th. The chief also attended the Lafayette County Children's Services Grant meeting where the SROs did the proposal for the school district did the proposal for the SRO program. They did receive all that was requested except for fuel costs. So that's a great step in the right direction for SRO program and its continued funding. We're working on a tentative calendar for the public safety sales tax information. And we're also working on getting that ballot language to you. So we plan on having that language to you guys at the next meeting on September 8th. Code enforcement cases, so I think last time I reported to you that we had 44, 40-ish open codes cases on our website. We have 45 right now on the public platform. We did not gain just a couple, we actually closed 12 and then 12 more were added in that one time span. So people are really starting to use that as a resource for our citizens. Let's see. We do have a new hire in the police department, Alexis Parrott, who comes from the UCM Police Department. She starts her field training this week and brings our police department to fully staffed. For the electric department, they're working on a few pole replacements on Action Road and Johnson Drive. They've been working to get the electric installed for the Rodmucker Concrete Company on West Main. Let's see. They've been doing a lot of normal maintenance, work orders, locates, and tree trimming. Tree trimming has increased ever so slightly with the weather that we've gotten over the past season. So that they're doing as much tree trimming as they can, but we also have that bid that's coming out soon, so that'll be able to be handled at a larger capacity. And that's all. And then for planning and zoning, or for community development, they met last night where they approved the revised preliminary plat for the 1912 building, and which passed by the planning and zoning. And then they also had the public hearing for the PUD. And we continued our conversations on zoning and different uses allowed in different zones within the city. Making improvements to our zoning code. So very good discussion. We basically have somewhat of a new board now with 3 members turning over. So we're kind of starting over with some of those zoning discussions, but still headed in a positive direction. Let's see, at the next meeting, we'll have a rezone for 8th and Mason, a parcel on 8th and Mason that they'll be rezoning to both R2 and R3. They're proposing 5 multifamily residential buildings in that area. And on 9/2, we'll be having a BZA meeting for the property at 400 Old 40 Highway, which is the youth recreation facility owned by Hopmers. They are getting a variance or requesting a variance for parking, so. And then we have a few special events coming up. October 11th, the marching band invitational will come to downtown Odessa, brings in quite a few people to our downtown, so it's a very important event for the city of Odessa. We also have downtown trick or treat on 10/25, and the Christmas lighting is set for November 17th. Karen's made some improvements for our personnel when it comes to their direct deposit information. She's already preparing for the health fair for employees, learning new ideas, and we have started a walking challenge that a few of our employees are taking part in. We're continuing, myself and directors are continuing to work on the strategic plan. It will be brought to you guys in September, probably the later meeting in September, but it could be the September 8th meeting. But we've worked hard to put the measures and action items together and combine that with the report that was provided by. So we'll be coming to you guys with that finalized document very soon. Let's see, I think that might be everything I have. Go ahead.
October 11th, is that cleanup day as well?
It is cleanup day. Yes. Good point. October 11th is our citywide community cleanup, our first ever fall citywide community cleanup And so this will be a countywide event. All other cities and jurisdictions within our county are welcome to utilize that event. It's kind of a step above what we typically do, where it does allow for hazardous waste, tires, and additional things that we wouldn't normally be allowed to do with just our contract that we have with Republic. So we're very excited to be able to provide that service through the District 10 grant.
That's gonna be fun, right?
Yeah, it'll be half diet fun there. And it'll be spread out a little bit different, and we'll probably utilize a little bit more of this parking lot as opposed to by the rodeo arena.
It's not gonna interfere with the marching band thing.
I don't think so. Okay, we'll double check, but I don't think it would.
My locations won't, but transfer through the city it would, but, because we normally shut down four-way, right?
Yeah, we can make sure to
Oh.
include that the four-way would be closed in the amount of communication that we put out for that event. We'll include that. Thank you for that. I didn't notice. Okay. Thank
My
you.
eyes sprayed up with well too. I'm just saying that.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Alderman Kerrigan, you want to add to your opening report?
Yeah, I apologize. I had two things that I overlooked. One, just so Forty communities know, a lot of people asking about chickens. And so I asked, Karen to compile what type of responses we've had so far with the new ordinance. She's reached out to Josh to get what type of complaints we've had. And we're gonna try to figure out what the current status is, how the response have been to the city of the chicken ordinance. And so I can feed that to people who want to talk about it, so they know what's actually happening. The second thing I forgot is I don't think it's the city's responsibility, but there has been a continued water leak at the trailer park off of Johnson Drive for like 3 weeks now. So people have hit me up about, I don't think it's us, because it's private property, but I just wanted to confirm that. Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Very good. Who's next? That moves us into the time for the public hearing. And we'll wait till our city clerk gets that back down.
I can write it down. It's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, so this, the first public hearing is on the tax levy rates for 2025. We'll begin the public hearing at 34. Anybody want to speak? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 6:25. Next public hearing is for the planned use development for PUD. Public hearing will begin at 6:25. Hearing none to speak, we'll close the public hearing at 6:26. Public comments. First up is Sarah, there you are. Sarah Hawthorne, on behalf of the Odessa Garden Club, wants to talk about water before we stop.
Good evening, Mayor, Aldermen, city staff. My name is Sarah Hawthorne. Most of you know me, but I am a lifelong resident of Odessa, current Ward 2 citizen, and a current member of the Odessa Garden Club. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Garden Club, along with Tracy Peters, also lifelong resident, our board member, and Arlene Hayes. We're here tonight because as the city continues its planned efforts to revitalize our downtown and spur economic growth, we would like the Garden Club to continue to play a small but meaningful role in these efforts. Specifically, we would like to continue planting and caring for the new planters at the four-way stop that will be installed following the completion of the new sidewalks. The Odessa Garden Club was founded just 2 years ago by our very own Alderman, Donna Ehlert, and president, with a simple vision of planting and maintaining the planters downtown. Planters which have since been relocated to Railroad Park. In only 2 years, our club has grown to nearly a dozen members. What started as a focus on downtown has expanded to include beautification of the South Odessa Welcome Side, our Dyer Park entrance and concession area, which Tracy will have more comments about here in a minute, and most notably Railroad Park, where we have added plantings and most recently worked alongside not only the city, but the Daughters of American Revolution to continue to add additional seating and sidewalks for those patrons of our little park, possibly on a Thursday night to visit the farmer's market or simply as a quiet respite on their daily walk. Additionally, the club has partnered with Rotary Club and Girl Scouts to enhance the new Rocky Roads Trailhead. As a 501c3, our revenue source is meager and simply comes from small membership fees, community donations, and our garden club plant sale, where plants are generously donated by not only our very own members, but green thumbs within our community, including our very own mayor. This past summer, the club held its very first Grow Your Own educational event, sharing horticulture knowledge within our community, an important component in growing the quality of life. Wouldn't you agree? Our goal as a club has always been clear: to simply partner with our neighbors and, most importantly, the city of Odessa, to beautify our community and enhance the quality of life for both our residents and our visitors. With that in mind, we do have one request tonight. As the city works to install new sidewalks downtown, we respectfully ask that a critical water source be included at the four-way stop. This would allow our members or any volunteers who wish to give back a more easily accessible way to continue watering the four-way planters. At present, it is very difficult to haul water from our homes or from Railroad Park, particularly in the heat of our Missouri summers, and it places ongoing strain on both our members' time and their personal water bills. While we continue to grow membership, we are still a small club, and this burden has become increasingly challenging. We want to continue to serve alongside our city, but without a safe and accessible water source, we will sadly no longer be able to maintain the downtown planters. In closing, we truly believe that by working together, the city and the Garden Club can continue to create a more beautiful, welcoming Odessa for everyone. Thank you for your time and for your ongoing commitment to our community. With that being said, Tracy has a few additional remarks.
Just to piggyback on that, we're all so excited about plants. I mean, it's just kind of nerdy in a way, but we had a 1977 classmate of someone sitting here that is a designer of landscaping, thank you. And we would like to improve the looks of the building. And so there's some plans that will be presented. It's going to take probably some funding and some volunteer, and we can't do it all because it's going to be some masonry stuff perhaps. And the pool. There's an area by the entrance that is in need of beautification. And so we have some plants, some planters, and all kinds of stuff to plant. There's like 3 options, and so if any of you want to look at that later or in I think that's yeah, it's exciting, and it's something to really look forward to. And I'm going to piggyback on the downtown thing is please consider getting us some water, and maybe we'll get the other part of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Very good.
You.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, public comments would be King Collins, would like to visit about the OHS FFA fundraiser. I think.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. As he said, I'm Gene Collins. I'm the lead agriculture teacher in the department at the high school. And over the last 3 years, we've worked pretty hard to revitalize the program. And it's grown an absolute ton. Currently seeing over 200 students a day. And my challenge to those students has been to be creative as they look for ways to improve what we're doing. And one of the things that's very important to us, for us to be able to function, is for them to do fundraisers. And what we have found that we do not like is we do not like to outsource our fundraising with these companies. These companies give us a small percentage back of the money that we are taking from our community members. And we would like to see our money stay here in Odessa. So with that challenge in mind, the students have borrowed an idea that they've seen in use over at Colden. And they are painting mascots in front of homes and businesses who are making small, generous donations to have that done. So they see that the money from the business would be totally able to stay here. We're not sending any money out of the town, and all of that would benefit the students. they're asking to do that, and I told them, I think I'm going to need to seek some permission from the city before we start rolling paint down on the sidewalk. So that's why I'm here tonight.
What types of mascots? Just whatever the business wants, or they have something?
This is what students have mine, just a simple bulldog that everybody's used to seeing. So we just thought kind of increase the community spirit, the school spirit. It's the kids downtown interacting with the business owners and community members.
What kind of size do you think? 3 by 3,
The
36?
stencil that we've located is 18 inches by 16 and a half.
So would you put it on residents driveways and stuff too? Is that what
That's what we're thinking.
I wonder if you could even suggest an alteration of noticing that stencil, the center of it was open. Maybe the name of the business or something, somebody could handwrite the name of the business or resident or something in it, make it a little more personalized for them.
We could probably do that. We're looking at getting, this is a generic stencil that's
Yeah.
available. We've talked to the company about having it done in layers so that we could incorporate red and black and white.
yeah.
Instead of it just being one color. We thought that would look a little bit nice.
It's kind of cool. Will it stick to my gravel driveway?
For a short time.
Is there anything we need to look into?
I was just checking, I might have not heard, but what was the size and what surfaces would it be on?
It's 18 inches across, 16 and a half inches tall.
Okay.
And we're planning on driveways for community members
Mhm.
and in front of businesses that would be downtown if they'd like to. For example, the Odessa maybe right on this, in front of their door there.
Mhm.
I think in those kind of areas.
So that's fair.
What about even on, if the businesses want to, on some of their glass?
This
They
is
have
paint,
to have room.
right?
This is paint, yeah, so my
Well, there's
experience watching.
Yeah.
So we could do something with window paint that would not last as long.
Right.
My experience with talking to the people at Holden is that they do this every year, they offer it.
Oh.
And so the paint fades and wears, so use market paint or similar, and then that way we can go back and we can lay it back at the same spot, we can refresh it. And I think they did that for, I don't know, if the initial price is $35, and maybe we come back the next year, we do it for $20. Keep it looking nice.
If approved, how long would it last for? Like, how long would it be that you're applying it? All throughout the year or like between X month and X month?
Yeah, we'd like to open it up in the fall in coordination with football. And get those done before the winter, and then most of the school year is in the winter, and that would probably be pretty hard to paint, so we really think it would be a fall time.
How long does the paint last?
I think based on what we saw at Holden, that's lasting about a year and it's fading. So it's still there, but it's just faded. It doesn't look as fresh.
Okay.
I would not consider that a special event permit, so as long as the board,
We didn't,
Is an
we need
agreement
to have that as an agenda item, we can just tell them, go ahead.
I think if it's not a special event permit, it's just a matter of getting the permission of the board. I think you're fine to just do a motion to give it your blessing, maybe have them coordinate with Shauna once they have more details, just to, for final passage, yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah, but it is city properties.
Alderman Miller.
Just one question. Let's just say you go to a business and they say, yeah, go ahead and paint. Do you have something they sign on in case another owner, do you have any kind of form?
We
that,
don't
you
at
know,
this time. This is
I'm
for
just saying like, you don't want anybody mad because you put the paint down, you get what I'm saying, get permission. I think permission from the businesses, maybe in writing to put it down there might be a good idea, just for your own sake.
There probably will be something like that just for record keeping on our end, just so we can.
Just so you said, hey, you signed this, that's why it's on your sidewalk. I think you probably need more permission from the business owners than you city and residents, but it might be good to get it right.
Well, technically, it's not the business's sidewalk. So even though they're paying for it, it's the city's property.
Right, but it is still in front of their business.
and that would only be like really in downtown that would be.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Then I would take, Alderman, is there any kind of slip and fall risk for liability? What kind of paint is it?
It
Wet?
be concrete paint like they're using for striping parking lots or something like that.
Or like on the sidewalk? Downtown the sidewalk, if it's wet,
I think it's like a dry marking spray paint, right?
Right, so it would be just like walking in a parking lot, it'd be the same
It-
kind of thing.
It dries very quickly. That's what we use for like the frog and turtle circles, and we put that down while all the vendors are still setting up, and it doesn't track at all when they go drive through it while we're putting it down.
Yeah, you can see how straight it is too.
I would think if he works out an agreement with, if you're okay with the concept, if he works out an agreement with Shauna to let us know, you know, have a formalized process for if you're gonna do it on public property. So she has a chance to look at it and go, you can sort of approve it before it goes out and probably get some sort of a liability waiver or something, but it shouldn't be too bad.
so we thought you did the verbiage, put this on the agenda for next time.
Very good.
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he was saying to.
No, yeah,
She'll take care
I said, does anybody on the board have a problem with what?
of it. No, not at all.
basically delegate to her the ability to formalize it, provided that she's reporting back to you what's going on.
All right, is that understood by you, Mr. Collins?
Yes, it
All
is.
right, well, I think you got your blessing.
Thank you very much.
I want
Since it
to,
hasn't imploded yet, but you know, wait, then if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
you can go ahead and say, thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
But this is out of the norm of public comments, we do not normally discuss that. But I think it's important to work together with the school system, and this is an important fundraising opportunity for them. So moving forward quickly, my opinion, let's work that back and forth. All right. That's it for public comments. Open up for new business. Bill number 2025-17, introduction and readings of bill number 2025-17, setting the tax levy for the year 2025 for the city of Odessa, Missouri, and designating the amount to be used for general and park purposes in accordance with state requirements. I would take a motion to approve the first reading of bill number 2025-17. I'll make a motion to approve first reading of bill number 2025-17, those tax levy rates for the year 2025. Yeah, a motion and a second. All in favor? 5-0, discussion. Same. Right.
We had a lengthy discussion about this in the finance meeting, and it does generate a little bit more, but like I said in my report, that amount because of delinquencies, we felt like in the finance that we didn't need to make an adjusting entry to our budget.
Any further? Hearing none.
I would just add to, if we were to get, you know, any more than what really is budget, it'll be addressed in the budget amendment after the year's been completed.
I think I'll mention as well that we did this in July, and we set our budget in, April or March or April.
Tomorrow, okay.
But most cities do have their year end in October. So we are unique in the fact that we are in April. That's why we're kind of behind the 8 ball when it comes to this. So just mention that.
Good job. All right, that ends discussion. I would take a motion to approve the second reading of bill number, introduction and readings of bill number 2025-17, setting the tax levy for the year 2025 for the city of Odessa, Missouri, and designating the amount to be used for general and park purposes in accordance with the state requirements. Second reading, I would take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that we approve the second reading of bill number 2025-17 and approve the bill as an ordinance for the proposed tax levy rates for 2025.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Alderman Plackty,
Yes.
Witsit,
Yeah.
Geller,
Yes.
Kerrigan,
Yes.
Star.
Yes.
Okay. Approved, motion approved, given ordinance number 3157.
Next up, bill number 2025-18, introduction and readings of bill number 2025-18, amending chapter 50 of the Code of Ordinances of the city of Odessa, Missouri, to establish regulations for the planned unit development. First reading. Take a motion to approve. I make a motion to approve.
First reading of bill number 2025-18. With plan development unit PUD.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor? 5-0. Sean?
I just wanted to say a few things before we move to the second reading, I guess. I'm very excited to be able to bring this to you guys. The planning and zoning, like we mentioned earlier, we have a new planning and zoning board. So for them to come sit in the seat and then take on something as large as the PUD, they did an amazing job. We, picked it apart, really put thought into each paragraph that was in there, and then we had the attorney then look at it, and then she had even more adjustments to it, but this is a big advancement for our zoning for the city of Odessa. It's something that we have never had, and it's something that we should have had, and that most of our peers do have. So to me, this is something that's going to be a huge advancement for our future development in Odessa. So I just want to thank you and really thank the planning and zoning.
I would second that, and I would also like to thank the board and acknowledge their input as part of that meeting. Your all suggestions and the input you gave, that's how it's supposed to work. So well done to y'all. Alderman Karen.
I just want to say thank you as well. I know it seemed a bit contentious at first, but this is what we wanted. We just wanted a good, fair look at it. We built something really good that everybody can say we actually put some effort into. So thank you for your efforts. Thank you to the board for their efforts and planning and zoning. I know they looked at it a lot. So I think we've got something good here that'll help Odessa moving forward.
I agree. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. We take a second. Bill number 2025-18, introduction to the reading of bill number 2025-18. Amending chapter 50 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Odessa, Missouri to establish regulations for planned unit developments. Make a motion to approve the second reading.
I'll approve I'd like a motion to approve bill 2025-18, the second reading, and approve the bill as an ordinance for the planned unit development PUD.
Second.
No motion and second. Roll call.
Alderman Whitsitt,
Yes.
Ellert,
Yes.
Kerrigan,
Yes.
Star,
Yeah.
Plackty.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried, given an ordinance number 3158.
All right, next up. Adam Couch, applicant, is requesting a 180-day contract extension for the 1912 Development Group building permit. And Adam is here, if there are any questions for him, as part of the discussion. And we'll just go ahead and open up the discussion.
So, like it's been said already twice, our preliminary plans got approved this past Thursday. The initial preliminary plan came with a few variances that were gonna need to be requested. We were able to go back and kind of reorganize some of the buildings, the way they sat. And then engineers took a look at it and redid some of the public spaces so that we were able to come back and we didn't need any. At this point, we don't need any variances. We solved the parking issues that planning and zoning had concerns with. The building setback issues, even with the existing school building, those were eliminated. And then the green space that was in the middle, we were able to actually enlarge that even a little bit more. That was one of the concerns I remember this board had, was having some green space as well as parking. So I was pretty happy that both of those issues were addressed to the extent they could be. So now we move on to the final plat, work on the final plat and all the details that are required in that. That's not on the schedule yet, so I'm not sure when that'll go forward, but it shouldn't be too terribly long because there shouldn't be a ton of changes that have to be made at this point. the design work, the engineering that's ongoing on inside the school. So we had another structural engineering firm come out and take a look at it because of some walls that we might have to move. So we're moving forward. The planning process took, I was talking with Sean, the planning process took a little bit longer than we initially anticipated. I know last time I was here, I was hoping I would be back. But when we had to do the lot splits with all of it, it just took time. And but we're here now. The other thing I'll say is, you know, we were kind of tagging along with the PUD development also, which that is an arduous process. So that was nice to see that approved. As far as, you know, there's discussion at the beginning. Will that affect our development any? It's one of those things where we could have, well, we couldn't have. Would we have sat and waited to see what happened with the PUD before we move forward with any of our stuff? I don't know. It doesn't really matter at this point. I don't think, I was talking with Jade, our engineer, and there isn't anything in the PUD the way it's developed now that would have any really material effect on anything if we would change. So while it's a good thing, we have everything I believe that we wanted, that I think more of them wanted in what we have right now. So I don't, we'll take a look at it, but I don't expect any changes to be made. If anything, initially there were been some setback requests, but I think, like I said, we got that all taken care of. So we moved forward, and I told all the wits of this, we moved forward rather than wait to see what happened with the PUD. We just start moving forward with the code that we have. Yeah, with that, we're not here for, not ready for a building permit yet. Showing the design work done. Like I said, we're getting there. We've got work product, obviously, that we should. So we're asking for another 180 days. I'll be back to something like that's max. Hopefully it's not as long. But it just takes time. And that's what I'm asking for. It's just another 180 days. And we'll keep report working soon.
Questions from Mr. Kelly?
Just because you got 180 days, it's kind of sounding like that it doesn't necessarily be that long. Now then you kind of got it last. That's good.
I asked for a timeline from our engineers, but I'm not gonna present that to you because to me, it's you know, I ate crow at the last meeting by coming in and saying, hopefully that's not back here again. So I do apologize for that. I do better than to say that, you know, but we do have a timeline and we're trying to hold to it. So yeah, trust me, we don't want to extend this out. Any, you know, we can get it done before the 180 days. Yeah, I like that. I'm ready to start work, so.
I appreciate the additional parking spots. You know, my concern is people parking along, you know, Russell and around it. So I looked at the drawing. Did you eliminate one of the buildings?
We did.
Yeah.
Originally, the
You had
original
8,
plat,
it's like 7 now.
yeah, the original plat had 8 buildings. That counts the school, we located a building.
And a little bit of green space is still is added. So
Yes, yeah, we expanded that center green space. I think the plat kind of has the police department this label where it's at, but so some of that part won't be able to be constructed right away. Where the police department says, but.
Well, I'll just say I appreciate all the work that you've already put into it. And in my opinion, it'd be a shame to extend it down. He's got to great. I like what you got.
The other comment, this isn't a question, this is more of a comment. Because I do go to the planning and so many these people have put a lot of work into this. And have done everything has to. And brief. All right, no further conversation, we'll just Go ahead, all in favor of approving the contract extension for the 180-day contract extension for the 1912 Development Group, Phil from all in favor?
Nope.
Phil?
Motion and a second, please.
All right. I'll take a motion to approve the contract extension request for the 1912 bill. Make motion to approve the contract request.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? 5-0. Abstention is approved. All right, next scheduled meeting will be Monday, September 8th at 6 P.M. And new to the agenda. Alderman request for new items. You'll remember we have a policy now that Alderman can request items be placed on the agenda, and since the board that will be done. Members of the Board of Aldermen have the opportunity to propose items for consideration to be added to the agenda for the next regularly scheduled meeting. A vote will be held to determine whether to include an item on the agenda. Therefore, debate and discussion should be limited to determining the board's interest in further discussion at the upcoming Board of Aldermen meeting. Are there any such requests? Alderman Eller?
I would like to bring back at a future meeting, the discussion about the water at the four-way stop for the garden club, and possibly also the two areas at the park that we would like to discuss, some upgrades. So, for a discussion.
Any objections to the agenda item? We can add to the. No objection.
I have one question. Is the finance committee prepared to talk about those fees? I'll bring that before the board. Do you guys want some more time to discuss the credit card fees?
Oh,
You guys prepared to talk about that? I think they're all again.
we did mention that we'd like to bring that back to the future meeting.
I'm just curious if you're prepared to talk about it. If you're not, then let's hold off. If you are,
Kathy's got to do some part of that.
wanna hold.
Have the audit in the next 2 weeks, so I would prefer that we put it at later meetings, if that's okay.
That's okay.
So you guys can go ahead and decide it. If you want it on one, but
We would meet before the next one anyway.
So can we decide to put it on when Kathy's ready and then she?
Well, we're gonna put it on when Kathy's ready either way, like, that sounded bad, but like, once it's ready, we'll bring it to you, I guess, is what, we don't have to request everything that goes on the agenda, is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah. Consensus or do we have a motion on putting them on?
I would say have a motion because you need a majority if you're gonna do it that way. And remember, this is, the purpose behind this was to do what you're doing here, but also if for some reason you feel like staff is dragging their feet on something, you want to force it to come forward. That's probably what this was intended for, as opposed to asking forever that it come on, but no, it's good either way.
All right, so we will, with the first vote,
I'll make a motion that we bring to a future meeting a discussion about the garden club, water.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Discussion item will be added to the next agenda. Any further agenda items to be added? Discussed.
No.
Hearing none, I would take a motion to adjourn to closed session.
Right, so I'll make a motion that we return to closed session pursuant to RSM 610-021, legal action, causes of action, litigation, or confidential attorney-client communication, and pursuant to RSM 610-021, 12 sealed bids and related documents until the bids are opened and the sealed records proposals are related documents or documents related to a negotiated contract under a contract is executed or all proposals are rejected.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, roll call.
Aldermember Starr,
Yes.
Placky,
Yes.
Witsit,
Yes.
Eller,
Yes.